This video will show you how to use synthetic division to divide two polynomials. Synthetic division is used to find factors of a polynomial and also will help you find zeros. The next section will use synthetic division to find all zeros of a polynomial. For now, I want to show you how to work some problems in the process of synthetic division. The first example will work is dividing 4x squared minus 3x plus 1 by x minus 2. This is called the divisor. And the first step in synthetic division is to set the divisor equal to 0 and solve for x. So x equals 2. This is a number we'll use with synthetic division, and I like to place it in a box, and below I'll draw a line across. The next step is to look at the polynomial here and see if we have all the powers present, starting with the second power down to the last. So our highest power or degree is 2. The next power is x to the first, and the last is a constant. So all the powers are there in descending order. Next, I'll write down the coefficients, each one of these numbers, next to the box. Alright, so we've got 4, -3, and 1. Now we're ready to begin the process of synthetic division. You always bring down the first number here by the box. So I'm going to bring down the 4. And then we'll take this 4 and multiply it by the box 2. That gives us 8. We'll place the 8 underneath the -3. Then add these together. -3 plus 8 is 5. And then the process starts over again. 5 times the box 2 is 10. And then add the column. 1 plus 10 is 11. Now the answer for synthetic division always has one less degree. Before we said that the degree is 2 in our polynomial. So 1 less than 2 would be 1. So the answer has degree 1, or we'll start with x to the first. So we have a 4, x to the first, and then we have plus 5, and the last number will always be the remainder. So this will be the answer for synthetic division. What it means is if I take this 4x plus 5 and multiply it by the divisor and add in the remainder, then I get the original polynomial, 4x squared minus 3x plus 1. Now let's do another example here. Example number 2 is divide x to the third power plus 5x squared minus 6 by x plus 3. Step 1 is to take our divisor, x plus 3, set it equal to 0, and solve for x. So we have -3 to use for synthetic division. We'll put that number in the box, and then we'll check and make sure that all the powers are present. So notice that we have degree 3, and what comes after that is x squared, but we're missing x to the first power. So this is called our missing term. So what we need to do is include that in the synthetic division. And to include it, we would put a 0 in the place. of x to the first. And then we have a constant. So it's very important that we always will include any missing terms or missing powers, and we would put a 0 in for those. Now, continuing with the synthetic division, we're ready to go here with these coefficients. We've got a 1, a 5, a 0 now, and a 6 to include here. So there's 1, 5, 0, and negative 6. Notice how the sign goes along with negatives. First step is to bring down the 1. Then 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. And add up the column. 5 plus negative 3 is 2. Then multiply 2 by the box negative 3, we get negative 6. Add 0 and negative 6 together, that's negative 6. Multiply one more time, negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18. And add those together, we get 12. Now we had a degree 3 in our original polynomial, so the answer will have degree 2, one less. So we'll start with x squared. This will give us 1x squared plus 2x minus 6, remainder 12. Notice how the powers decrease for our answer as well. One more example for synthetic division is this. We'll divide 2x to the 5th plus x to the 3rd minus 4x plus 10 divided by x plus 1. So we'll take x plus 1, set it equal to 0, subtract 1 from both sides, we get x equals negative 1. That goes in the box for synthetic division. And then we'll look at our polynomial and see if we have any missing terms. Alright, so our degree is 5. Our next power would be x to the 4th, which we're missing, so I'll include that. We've got x to the 3rd next. Then we're missing x squared here, so I need to include a 0 x squared. Then we have x to the 1st and a constant. So notice that we need to include 2 zeros for the missing powers, missing terms, and we'll do that for this problem. We've got 2, 0, 1, 0, negative 4, and 10. First, bring down the 2. Multiply 2 by the box negative 1. That's negative 2. Then add up the column. 0 plus negative 2 is negative 2. Multiply again. Negative 2 times the box negative 1 is positive 2. Add these together. We get 3. Multiply again. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Add this together. We get negative 3. Negative 3 times the box negative 1 is positive 3. Add these together. We get negative 1. Finally, negative 1 times the box negative 1 gives us positive 1. And we add this last column to get 11. Now we're ready to write down the final answer. Notice that the degree up here was 5. So we'll start with x to the 4th. So that's 2x to the 4th minus 2x to the 3rd plus 3x squared minus 3x minus 1, and the remainder is 11.